Okay, so for the first question, I decided to choose a brand that went out of business, and that was Blockbuster. Now, I'm going to conduct a advertising audit that relates to the customers that actually went to Netflix. So I'm going to use a combination of traditional advertisement and new emerging mediums that Blockbuster could have used to stay in business. So for the purpose of advertising audit is to sort through resources, figure out which of your strategies are working and of which are wasting your budget. And advertising audience builds the foundation of your future marketing decisions. So I wrote down some things on a piece of paper. I'm just gonna go through it because it keeps me organized. So for the first one, they could have just started by looking at their mission and strategy objective to create a framework. They could have used social media, which gives the access of the audience data that is available through other which is not available through other channels such as TV and radio. So, social media gives you the access to your audience and allows you to communicate with them and give feedback with them. But on the other terms, with TV and radio and newspaper, it's kind of you can't get that feedback from your audience, and you kind of have to wait to see, to get the feedback after, you put out the content. And, demographic information is also available through social media, which allows you to better understand your audience, so you can see who you actually are targeting. And also, there's a thing called Brand Watch, which is a social intelligence, can be used to gain a deeper understanding of your customers, examining their interests. So you're brand watching, so you're watching them and you're seeing what they're interested in and what they want, and you can understand them, but you understand them better, which you can provide them with products and services that fits their needs. You can find also who's looking at your website, so you can do that through Google Analytics. So you can see who's actually going to your website, what they're looking at, what they want. And traditional, so the pros and cons of traditional advertisement, which the advantages are is, you get that active consumer accusation. You get the accessibility. It's proven to be effective, and there's a huge potential audience and awareness. So like TV, you can reach a lot of people. But also it's expensive. It's expensive to produce a TV advertisement, and you don't know if it's going to actually work. You have to wait. That's the thing. It's a waiting game with TV, but with social media, you get that immediate response. So you can see what your customers want, and where they're interacting, what they're interacting on exactly on your account. And everyone has access to TV, radios, and newspapers. 99% of families in America have a television, so that's why there's a huge potential audience awareness. But at the same time, it's just so expensive, and you're waiting. It's a waiting game. You want that immediate feedback, and that's what social media actually provides. So the advantages of digital media, which is social media, is it's affordable, so it's very, very cheaper. Some of it's actually free. But it's very, very more affordable than TV and your traditional advertisement. And it's actually the customers are passive, and it's adaptable, so you can adapt to it. You can adapt to the changes, so like the updates and the new trends. It's very adaptable. Social media marketing as a whole is more flexible, and like I said, it's more responsive than traditional strategies. And no, there's no waiting, no contracts, or no upspills. So that's the first question. The second question says, please explain how you will manage a culture of creativity in your advertisement agency. Again, I wrote it down on a piece of paper, so I'm just going to go through what I wrote down. So promoting creativity in the workplace. First, I would foster an environment where creativity is valued. The second thing I would do is, give employees the tools and techniques to come up with their own ideas. Also, I would make sure employees understand my values and my goals of my company and products and services, so the employees can then come up with context ideas. And for the fourth one, I would create an environment that that encourages conversation, problem solving, and great ideas. And the last one, what I would do is implement creativity in the workplaces. I would recognize the employees, reward them, and celebrate great ideas. Um, you know, the creative power behind a company is the people. So I would conduct weekly meetings with my employees to discuss things that are happening within the business, and then um, we would discuss new ideas or ways to improve our products in our company. Employees that come up with great ideas, like I said before, will be rewarded and recognized throughout the company for their great improvements and their efforts. Create an environment that does. I want to create an environment that's designed for collaboration, which means that I would have open seating, which gives employees the ability to conversate. So and ideas that I came up with is maybe making part of the building where there's activities for the employees, or there's a Starbucks, or there's a Dunkin' Donuts or something like that, where they could conversate and be comfortable. Maybe a game room or something like that. On their breaks they could just go chill out, or maybe a TV room, or just something where it's just more comfortable, not just on top of their head. They're not in a cubicle, and the bosses are just not on top of their head and just aggravating them. Give them the freedom to come up with new ideas and have a say and have a value within the company. So for the third one, I'm going to discuss how advertisement strategies will give your client a better return on investment. And then I will discuss how to actually measure ROI, which is return on investment. So first is, just focusing on, monitoring your audience. Building a relationship with your followers is very, very important to figure out a better return on your investment. So just, increasing social interactions and followers will definitely help with the return on investment. Due to the advertising strategies, you want to make sure that you're being engaged, and you're building relationships with your customers, and then that will actually help you return on investment, because you're getting more followers, you're getting more revenue, you're building more loyalty with your customers. So how to actually return on investment, to measure the return on investment. So digital marketing will actually give you a clear picture on how time and money and effort you're putting in will affect your company. And a good way of calculating social media is doing the profit/investment. And that is very, very effective. Also, to determine the social media ROI, you need a benchmark against the market, so you can actually compare yourself between you and your competitor. This will let you know how much your competitors are investing in their social media marketing efforts, which will then determine what you're getting in return, and how your revenue stacks between compared to them. Also, you could use Google Analytics, which can be used to find out how many people have made purchases after they visit your website or your social media, or they watched your advertisement or something like that, and how much money they've spent. You can track all that on Google Analytics, and now how your business went from clicking to converting. So when they visit your Instagram ads or any of that, you can just tell who actually went to the website to buy the product. So for the fourth one, it's going to be, please describe recent success of brand influencers as means of promoting your brand. Is it a trend? Can it be measured? They can definitely be measured. A perfect example of a brand influencer that's very, very effective is Mr. Beast. He's a powerful influencer that connects with millions of fans around the world, worldwide. And the success of brand influencers, definitely with like TikTok or YouTube, is that they're reaching so many people. And if you collab with them, you're also reaching with you're actually reaching new audiences that don't know about your brand. And if they actually know about your brand and they follow that person, now you're deepening the relationship with them. So the success of brand influence is just, it's, now it's just so effective because so many people are watching YouTube. And actually there's a lot of companies that have actually reached out with these brand influencers. A couple brand influencers that I watch, or YouTube influencers that I watch, they actually introduce some products before, during, or even after um, the video. And they include the company's info, like social media accounts or YouTube or websites, in the description. So you're just advancing the awareness, and helping um, get a new audience when you're collabing with these new brand influencers. So for the last one, it says another employee in your company you work with says social media advertising is just for high school and college age consumers. Yeah, that's not really true, because there's a lot of people that are actually, a lot of older people now that are actually engaged in social media, like Facebook or YouTube. I have, my grandmother is on Facebook, my dad's on Facebook. My dad watches YouTube. He's exposed to these videos, and companies could use that to their advantage. Older people are not just using, or not just reading the newspaper and stuff like that. They have phones and they have these accounts. They have Instagram, they have Facebook, some people have Snapchat. So older people have Snapchat. So that's definitely not true. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my questions. I've had a good time in your class, Mr. Weber. I appreciate you, and we'll see you later.